Hi everyone, welcome to the muster drill. I'm Scott, I'm on the Oasis of the Seas, and we're on our last day back to New Jersey. Hi everyone, welcome back. So, it's been just an amazing, fantastic cruise. I'll tell you, the Oasis class ships are just something spectacular. I mean, they are unmatched by any competitor, in my opinion. They are incredible. There's so much going on, so much to see and do. They're enormous. I mean, 7 days just doesn't seem long enough to enjoy it all. So when we started sailing out, a couple of miles past the Verrazano Bridge, and things just fell apart, and the ocean was just in a horrible mood, and we were feeling it all the way down to the Bahamas. So our first stop was in Port Canaveral, and we didn't get off the ship, but it was a really great day. A lot of people were off the ship, so the ship was, pretty empty, and we were enjoying that time. And then our next stop was Coco Cay. Now, we had off and on weather in Coco Cay, but, it rained a little bit, and then the sun came out, so normal, typical passing tropical showers. Nothing to write home about, and it was a great day. We spent the entire day at the Oasis Lagoon Pool, and it was just amazing. And then when we got to Nassau, we went and checked out the Margaritaville Resort and the entire area around the Margaritaville Resort called The Point. So it's a new destination in Nassau. I have a video coming up that is just from Margaritaville and the Fins Up Water Park and The Point. So be sure to check that out. That video will be coming soon. So I'm going to be bringing you some highlights of a few of the shows that were happening on the ship, and they were fantastic. Before I do that, I wanted to talk a little bit about just a few of the issues. Now, no cruise is perfect. There's always going to be things going on, and nothing was necessarily happening to me personally that was so terrible that it ruined my cruise or I had a bad day because of it. But I wanted to just point out a couple of things. Is this genie service. Now listen, as a travel agent, I am all for, and I completely understand how some people are, in this day and age, are able to pay for perks. I get it. I'm not complaining about it. But this is the one aspect of this entire genie concept that I don't like. I got on an elevator when we were in Nassau, and I was headed from deck 10 to deck 16 to go to the Windjammer to get some coffee. And we were just about at deck 16, and the elevator stopped. And a voice on the elevator came on, and it said, "Medical Priority Override." And the elevator returned back down to deck 10, and the doors opened, and there was a genie with the family that he was assigned to, and they got on the elevator. Well, there was another woman on the elevator with me, and she had asked the genie, I guess noticing that he had a name tag and that he worked, she said, "What's going on? The elevator said that there was a medical emergency and it was overriding the elevator." And he just looked at her. He didn't say anything to her. And then he said, "Well, what floor are you going to?" And we said we were going to 16. And he said, "Well, I can drop you." So he took this family all the way down to deck 2, the gangway, and then he stepped off the elevator, but hit 16 as he was stepping off and walked away and didn't say another word to us. In my opinion, they are crossing a line when they are not only able to commandeer an elevator that people are on, but then we have to go where they're going. They're more important to the cruise line than we are, because now we don't get to go where we were going. We have to go where they were going first. And the entire process is kind of disguised as a medical priority. Now, maybe that's a programming issue in the elevator itself, and Royal Caribbean doesn't have any control over that. But any way you look at it, I don't think it's kind of right. I think they've crossed a line when they're able to hijack an elevator that already has passengers on it and make those passengers go where the more important people want to go first. And then when they're finished with the elevator, then we get to have it back when we had already had it. What do you think about it? Leave me a comment below. We'll talk about it, or we don't have to talk about it. It's up to you. But in any event, I just wanted to mention that, in my opinion, I think they're crossing the line a little bit. I'm getting a little tired of some of the things that I believe multiple cruise lines have been doing since the restart, and that is, they have been selling us internet packages and soda packages and so forth, but not really delivering on what that package or what the expectation is of that. So when I buy a soda package, I expect unlimited soda. I don't think that's an unreasonable expectation. However, on board the Oasis and most of the newer Royal Caribbean ships, they have these Coca-Cola Freestyle machines, and obviously they need to be maintained, and I'm sure they've assigned crew to maintain them. However, I do not believe that the crew are doing a very good job in maintaining them. Now, whether or not that's the crew's fault or it's a supply issue with Royal Caribbean and so forth, but in my opinion, Royal Caribbean, Carnival, whatever the cruise line is, should not be selling us a service that they kind of know ahead of time that they're not going to be able to deliver on. So the Coca-Cola machines are almost always out of everything, and it doesn't matter which machine you go to. There's only 6 machines on this ship, and it doesn't matter which ones you go, it doesn't matter which day you go, what time of the day. Whenever you go there, most of the icons are grayed out, so it's unavailable, and there's never any ice in those machines ever. And they have like an automatic ice machine maker at the top that's hooked up to a water line. Nobody has to come and dump ice into it like sometimes you have to do that. But in any event, it's upsetting to me because I'm paying for that service. Everybody else is paying for that service. There were a couple of times I was in line and somebody had stepped up in front of me, and when they turned around, they walked away and they used some expletive words to describe, their feelings about the machine. So I'm not the only one who feels this way, and I'm really getting a little tired of it. Wish the cruise lines would just take the responsibility for it, step up, and just say, hey, listen, we're going to temporarily suspend this service until we know that we can meet our standards, the standards that you, our passengers, have come to expect and rely on, and we're just going to step back from that for a moment until we can deliver that level of service. So that's the last thing I'm going to say about it. I probably said more about it than I really should have, but it's really peeving me, and I'm just really getting upset about it. We had actually a couple of fistfights that resulted in some passengers being confined to their quarters with a guard stationed outside 24 hours. So I'm going to be throwing a screenshot or two up here from a post in a Facebook group that shows, that somebody had seen a security guard posted outside of a cabin near them, and another person had commented that when they asked their cabin steward what was going on, the cabin steward put up hands, like fists in the air, and made like some motions with his fists. So I guess they were in some fist fights or whatever, and they've been confined to their quarters. And then we also had a medical emergency when we were in Nassau. So we were supposed to leave Nassau. All on board was 5:30, and we were supposed to leave by 6 or 6:30. We ended up not leaving Nassau until 9:45 p.m. The best information I got was that somebody had a medical situation and that they were from another country, and so therefore there was a delay from them being able to get off the ship and into, an ambulance into a local hospital in Nassau. There's some paperwork and stuff like that. So so we ended up just, kind of hanging out. So as I mentioned earlier, here's some highlights from the shows. So those shows were just fantastic. Now, there was this, I don't know what you would call it, but there was this woman who came out and she sketched like through like an overhead projection on the screen at the back of the ice skating rink. She was drawing and basically telling a story through drawings in sand, I believe, with her hands and stuff. It was incredible. Wish I could have got a video of that. I mean, you'll just have to take my word for it. It was amazing. It was fantastic. It was one of the most unique things I ever saw. So like, we've been eating in the main dining room every night, and our waiters, Amit and Armando, which I really learned something. Armando, he's from the Philippines. I was like, wow, I thought that was a Latin American name or whatever, but I learned some history. You know, I won't go into a lot of details about it. Great waiters, great service. However, it is a little slow, and you know, and Amit had admitted to us that he has a little more tables than he normally does, and I guess that's as a result of, you know, I'd mentioned in a previous video, I think they're just slightly understaffed, but it's to be expected. You know, they've, you know, had less staff because they've been working up to you know, a higher capacity on the ship, so I'm sure they're going to be bringing more crew on, and that'll kind of all just work itself out. So it's, again, been just a great, amazing cruise. I wish it was longer. I wish I had a back-to-back, because I just really don't want to get off the Oasis, because it is a fantastic ship. Now, I'm going to be on the Carnival Magic on June 4th, going out of Norfolk. First time I've gone out of Norfolk, so I'm looking forward to that, seeing how that entire process works, and I'll, of course, be bringing you videos about that as well. So I think that's going to do it for today's video. Thank you very much for tuning in. And if you like this video, don't forget to click that like button. And then don't forget to click the subscribe button. It won't cost you anything. You click it once and you're done, and it'll really help us out a lot. And then don't forget to click that notification bell so that you know every time we upload a new video. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time.